It's like a pizza crunch without the batter. It's like the wood juice without the water. You'll never get the knickers I've had. What a fucking chance. Premeditated patter. Premeditated patter.
Nothing tastes better than the bitterness of a bitter coffee on a Sunday morning. How we doing, haggis, creeps and dafties? Good to see yous, man. It's been a while, been a couple of weeks. Every time I say what's happening, I always say it's been a while. I'm like a fucking broken record, innit? I'm a fucking broken, I'm a broken man. But I hope you're having a good Sunday. I've been out a wee walk. This is Sunday, by the way. This isn't like a few days in advance. I literally got up this morning, and do you ever get that when you wake up in the morning and you've just got the fountain of wisdom pouring out your ears? I get it some mornings, especially if I've had a good sleep. That way you just feel right, I'm up. So I was working night shift the past few nights, so Friday night was my last night shift, and get into the Saturday morning. Usually I go home and get a sleep and that, but I had my meeting to go to. So I had to get up at 12, I finished at 8, so I only had a couple of hours. And I went to bed and I was just tuned to the moon. I just couldn't sleep, so I just ended up going fuck it and getting up. Sometimes I do that, I'll just stay up. It's no fun when it gets into the next afternoon and you're kind of like that. Fucking, your head's bobbing and weaving, man. You're like a fucking prize fighter. And I got up and went a run. Got a cold bath, done all my wee fucking meditations and all that kind of stuff. And I went to my group and that, then sat down yesterday, last night, had my pizza, my obligatory pizza. I fucking had to catch myself there, fuck's sake. Still a bit early to hitting out with all these syllables. But I watched Nathaniel Collins do his thing. Shout out Nathaniel. You see Nathaniel on the podcast. If you don't know Nathaniel and you're Scottish, fucking get to know, man. He defended his British and Commonwealth titles against fucking some English bastard. I can't remember the guy's name. I think his second name is Miller. Is it Zach Miller? See, you've noticed by now, I'm either really good with names or really shite with them. There's no in between. So, a fucking dogfight. He definitely won the fight. You know what I mean? He fought like a champion, but fair play to him, man. It was a good fight. It was a great fight, man. And when you're sitting watching somebody like that stuffing a fucking pizza in your mouth, it's kind of, you're like, that fucking Jesus Christ. You know what I'm talking about? You're literally blowing out your arse just watching the fight. But after that, I retired to my chamber and went to bed about 8 and woke up at 6 this morning. And got up, done a wee workout. I've been doing that. I've been getting up, stretching. And see, if you're looking for a quick workout today in your house, check out on YouTube Tiff and Dan. So it's TIFF and Dan DAN. So it's like high intensity interval training. It's just circuits. I've been enjoying circuits a lot lately. And it's literally like a 20-minute cardio circuit. You don't do the same exercise twice, shit like that. It's really good. I just get my yoga mat out in the living room and just do it there. And see, sometimes if you're a bit short for time and that, and you want to get a workout in, fucking, honestly God, could not recommend it more. Good for breaking a sweat, getting the heart rate up and that. Then I just fling myself into a cold bath right after it. And I know you're not meant to do the cold baths after exercising, but you can't beat that feeling of getting all worked up, all hot and sweaty and panting, and then flinging yourself in a fucking freezing cold bath. It's fucking, it's heavenly. The shit you do these days for a done. See, I remember I used to get up and the first thing I would do is fucking smoke a joint. Seriously, man. Or sniff a line of gear. See, your morning routine, it's one of the most fundamental, important parts of your day. What you do in the morning will set the tone for the rest of the day. See, when I get up, right, I'll tan a pint of water. I'll put in this pint of water, I'll put some Himalayan pink sea salt, ordinary salt day. I put in electrolytes. If I've got lemons, I'll put a bit of lemon in it. Just lemon juice, I'll not actually fling the lemon in. And some creatine. So that's what I tan first thing in the morning. It is bitter as fuck. Don't get me wrong, you're no drinking it for the sweet taste because it's anything but sweet. But just dung it down the hatch. That's to rehydrate yourself, because during the night your body gets dehydrated because you're not consuming water. And when you sweat out sodium. So sodium is effectively salt. So while you're drinking the salt first thing, you're just replenishing the sodium electrolytes because your body's needing them. I do that, then I'll go and stretch. I need to stretch. I'm 31. Nothing to talk about. I'm a fucking old bastard. My body is anyway. But see, I never used to stretch. I've been going to the gym for I was like 15. Seriously, for I was about 20. I've had periods, stints off it and that kind of thing. But I was massive and did not stretch. I was against stretching. I thought if you stretched, you would lose muscle. Know what I'm talking about? So my fucking everything was tight. My hamstrings, everything. So see, after a while, man, that begins to cause you problems later in life. So I ended up last year, my back ended up fucked my back. And it got better, then it would just seem to be a recurring thing. So I started stretching, and since I've started stretching, honest to God, I don't go a day without it. I feel it. See, if I sleep in and I need to get up and I don't stretch, I notice it. I notice that I've no stretch. It's like I feel just horrible and shite and tight. Stretch, honest to God, man. Because it's as well, you want to have use suit your body. I mean, you've only got one body. You know what I mean? God created you this way for one reason only. Or many reasons, but He created you in this way by intent. You weren't accidentally born like this. So, take care of it, man. Stretching is one of the first things you get. You can stretch in 5 minutes. I used to watch this guy, his name is AJ47, I think, I know the rapper, this cunt, fucking, he was I don't know, cunt just stretched. I used to watch him on YouTube and he'd do like a 25-minute deep stretch. See, 25 minutes every morning just to stretch. It was if you get time, if you like it, for me, 10, 15 minutes tops. Stretch, you know what I'm talking about? Just get all the muscles. And you feel great after it. So, some mornings I've been getting up and doing my Tiff and Dan circuit or whatever. Right after it. I've only done that recently just for a kind of time thing, just to kind of get it in, and then flinging myself in a cold bath. I kind of do an ice bath. So, see, rather than going buying ice all the time, which is a fucking bit of a pain in the arse, I just get 4 2-litre bottles and just fill them with water and keep them in the freezer, and that's all I do. And the bath's freezing. The fucking bath's freezing without it, man. It's winter. So, after that, I've got myself back into the Wim Hof breathing again. I've been doing that again, and doing a couple of rounds of that. I stopped doing that for ages, man, and then I noticed the difference. It really helps you with stress. See, stress management. I get stressed at my nut. You probably know I do quite a lot of things, and I stress myself out. People stress me. I just get fucking stressed. Probably the coffee, I know it does it. That helps with stress management. I can just handle stress a lot more focused. And I noticed that. See, at the start of my journey into becoming a social media superstar that is fucking graced your screens today, I was doing the Wim Hof breathing kind of at the start of that, and I was really motivated. And then I stopped it for whatever. I think I was used to stand up and I would get a blood. See that way you get dizzy, and I felt that I tied that, I connected that to the Wim Hof breathing. I thought that's what was causing it, because there's parts of the breathing where you fucking squeeze and all that kind of stuff. So I stopped it for ages, and I noticed a wee kind of lapse in motivation in that, focus kind of thing. I got a bit more complacent and lazy with things, but since I've started it, man, I've been right off the mark. So I've been doing that. So do that, my meditating, say a wee prayer. Thank God for making me such a fucking sex bomb that I'm a. Obviously, surely this came from heaven. And I'll write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and I'll write my goals for the day. And it might sound like quite a fair bit, and it takes about an hour and a half, that full ritual. After I do that, I'm ready to take on my day. And see, up until that point as well, see your phone. So I put my phone in airplane mode before I go to bed, purely because see if cunts are messaging us, I always look, I want to see who the fuck's that messages. But before bed, because I like to try and read before bed. That's what they say. Big Huberman, man. Shout out the big man. Says, no screen time after 11 o'clock and at least an hour before bed. heed that, man, because that really makes a difference to your energy level. See if I watch the telly before, let's see, I don't have a telly in my bedroom. Sometimes, see if I'm like that, I'll take the telly through and I'll lie in bed and watch the telly. See, the next day I get up and I'm fucking feel terrible, man. It does make a noticeable difference to me. So I like to read before bed. Right now I'm reading Chet Sanders' book. Check out Chet Sanders' book. I'll talk a bit more about the big man later. But he's got a book out, autobiography, really good, really interesting. I'm like halfway through it. Check it out. I'm not sure if it's available on Amazon. Check out Chet Sanders on like Instagram or Facebook and you'll be able to find somewhere you can buy it. But I've been reading that. But I'll put my phone in airplane mode just so I don't get distracted. But see, the next morning, I'll keep it on airplane mode because I don't check my phone for about an hour until after I get up. There's a reason for that. I'm not sure the scientific reason, but my personal reason. Let's see if I get up and I look at my phone. That full day, I'm just pure distracted. My head's all over the place. I can't concentrate on anything. But if I don't, I'm a lot more focused. And it's a discipline thing as well. Plus, see if I get up in the morning and I see a message for somebody, I'll be alright, I'll reply to that now. I'm one of the people, see if I don't reply to a message there and then, I forget and don't reply. So I just stay away from my phone. And see, to be honest, people can go, oh, I need my phone, people need to get in touch with us, this and that. That's fair enough. But see, the thing is, right, like think it, an hour before you go to sleep and an hour after you wake up, that's 2 hours. Is the world going to end if you can't access your phone for 2 hours? No, I'm talking about like if somebody isn't going to phone you first thing in the morning, the last thing at night, not very often, and need you. No, I'm talking about. It's not a very common thing to think. I think it's a lot of it's just on the heat. And don't get me wrong, there might be, God forbid, a fucking tragedy occurs in your family and you need to rush somebody to hospital or somebody's been fucking stabbed or whatever, but is that a common thing in your life? If it is, then looking at your phone an hour before you go to your bed probably isn't, know what I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen in your life. But anyway, let's just keep talking, okay? So, when I get up, after I do all my rituals, and I finish, that's when I make my coffee and I sit down and I'll turn the airplane mode off and I'll get all my notifications and then I can catch up. And when you do that, you can enjoy it a wee bit better. Because you're like, alright, I'll catch up my notifications, check my emails, fucking reply back to cunts, and then for then on, I just take my day on. And see with that, man, I'm just focused, I'm zen. And the likes of the day I done that, I got up and I went a walk. Walking is a form of meditation. It's so fucking underrated how good it is for the mind. Walk with no intention of going anywhere. It's different, see, alright, I need to go to the doctors, I need to go to the job centre, or fuck it, I need to go to work. Walk with no destination in mind. Just walk. Obviously, maybe I'll pick maybe going to Elder Park or something. Pick somewhere to walk, but see when you're walking, you don't need to be anywhere. You don't need to get to anywhere, and you're just free to roam in your own mind, your own thoughts. A fucking beautiful thing. And if you're like a creative like me, walking is great for coming up with ideas and getting some mental clarity and things. You cannot beat it putting the headphones in. I love walking in the morning because the world is dead. See, when I cutting about and there's traffic and fucking all that, I don't really like that. I like getting up early. Like the day, I went to walk about 8 this morning. 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning is a prime time for a good walk because nobody's really about. Obviously, these dark nights are coming in, so 7 in the morning, I would usually go out about that time, but when it's dark and going on a walk, it's just, you might have the daylight, like that vitamin D. You know what I mean? To fucking wake up your circadian or arcadium or fucking gymnasium rhythm, whatever the fuck they want to call it. But anyway, that's been my Sunday. And now I'm sitting down to tell you about a podcast. But one of the last podcasts I done, I was talking about being on Banged Up. Banged Up was a Channel 4 series. And it was it thrust 7 celebrities into a prison environment to coexist with ex-convicts who were playing the role of convicts for the purpose of this experiment to give them a taste of jail life. I went down to Shrewsbury for 10 days and sat in a jail for 10 days and appeared on telly for a total of fucking 10 seconds or something. I swear to God. I was a bit fucking pissed off with that. So when I hadn't really heard for the producers scene the lead up to the release, I just kind of done it and just let it be. I used to be one of the people like, right, when's that coming out? Oh, can I see that? No, I'm just like, I've done it. It'll come out when it comes out. I'm fucking focusing on the next thing. I don't dwell. But in the lead up to it, obviously I'd done some newspaper articles. I'll tell you, in fact. So I actually found out, see, like about 2 weeks before the release of Banged Up, the production company, or Channel 4, the two of them were working together. Production company was called Shine. They contacted all the London contributors. So the contributors are basically like us, the ex-cons. That's what they call people in these instances. So they contacted the ones based in London, a couple of them, and asked them to come to a photo shoot for a press release. I didn't actually know that they get asked to go and do this, but one that we were on a group chat, the boys, it's a WhatsApp chat, and somebody had mentioned it, and I went, is that fucking right? In my head, I was like, what? So only a few is to go and get a press release, and the rest of us, fuck's sake, the rest of us have to sit like dicks. How could I not get that out? That was heavy annoying me there. The rest is have to go and sit like dicks. You know what I mean? Fuck that. So first thing I done, I got in touch with the fucking Sunday Mail. Well, a boy for the Sunday Mail. And just says, listen mate, I've got a story for you. So the guy got in touch with him. Shout out Billy Gaddy. And got in touch with us. I told him the story and all that. And my idea was, I want the story centred around myself. So I spoke to him on the phone, and it was the first time I'd kind of done a newspaper interview. So when I'm talking to him on the phone, I'm talking to him like it's one of my pals, because he's a young guy. So I'm just sitting there, fucking telling him all the shit that went down. And he's like, right, I'll speak to the paper about it. And then I go back to saying, right, they're going to run an article on it. It's a big double page spread. I'm like, fucking here we go. And then it appeared in the Sunday Mail. And see, the thing is though, Shine had asked us, or basically says to us, right, see if any journalists or newspapers get in touch with you, you need to let us know. So once it ended up coming out in the paper, big double page spread, obviously Billy had been taking down everything I was saying, and he wrote it as I'd said it, but I didn't realise that's what he was doing. Obviously that's what they do. I was just obviously naive. It wasn't any slight on his part. He didn't do me a bad turn. I mean, he done exactly what I asked him to do, but I was like, fuck, they'd literally wrote everything I'd said, but and I was kind of like, shit, because I was kind of pan. I was like, well, if this comes out, will they fucking try and cut me out the show and that kind of thing? So I kind of try to keep it in the QT, but they ended up finding out about it, and but they contacted us, but they weren't really fucking arsey about it. They're just like, listen, know what I mean, you give away a cut of spoilers, you just need to let us know in future. So, but when the show eventually came out, they all contacted us like a week before the show, and they says, right, Channel 4 says you can't do any promo until the first episode is out. And what? Are you kidding us on? You know what I mean? How was cunts going to know to watch it? So naturally, us being ex-convicts, we didn't listen. Cunts were posting in videos and all that shit, and they says if you've got any footage that you took in there, because we all snuck our phones in, you need to send it to us, just so we can vet it as such. Obviously that went in one ear and out the other, and not a cunt give a fuck. I didn't send them fuck all. I says aye, but then it was just they just fucking annoyed me. Don't get me wrong, the production company, they were nice, but they were in it to make a TV show. They didn't give a fuck about us. So I didn't really know how much I featured, and I ended up kind of getting a bit annoyed, because I'd done a few articles, right? A guy for is it the Daily Telegraph? I think it was. He got in touch with us, and he wanted to do an interview. And I let the production company know, and what they said was, right, they put us on to like the Channel 4 media team. And with the media team, they got in touch with us. It was a lady, Frankie. Shout out Frankie. She was saying, right, basically, they wanted to sit in on the interview. So it would have been a Zoom call, and they wanted to sit in on it just to kind of supervise the interview. And I was like, not a fucking chance. Like, you kid me on? I'm like, listen, I felt like saying, listen, I'm not in the fucking jail anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I says to them, I was like, no, I'm not a fucking child. I was like, if you want to brief me on what not to say, aye, that's fine, but end of the day, I'm not sitting having you supervise my interview. I just got a bit fucked off about it. But they ended up, Frankie got in touch, and turns out, see these kind of things, this is quite common. See celebrities and that. Celebrities and that. They this is quite common for them, where they have let people for like the media team sit in on interviews just to make sure the journalist doesn't try and set them up for a fall. So Frankie used to work in Coronation Street, and she actually used to do the same thing for Ken Barlow. She had to sit in on his media interviews. So all I heard was, I'm the Scottish Ken Barlow. But no, we done the interview, she sat in, one of the production team sat in, so it ended up like a 4-way interview, but it wasn't bad. They just sat in just to listen, make sure I didn't blab, nae grassing, know what I'm talking about. But aye, so when the first episode came out, I'd kind of spoke to like one of the production team, and I was like, look, I'm just want to kind of know, how often do I feature, because I'm going to be telling people to watch this, and I don't want to look like a dick if I don't show up. So he says, you feature here, you feature there, you kind of pop up all through it, but you've not really got a main feature kind of thing. And I was like, alright, fair enough. But for the bare minimum that I expected to be in it, they fucking, they sold it a bit more. Now I'm talking about, it was fucking, I appeared, I didn't say a fucking word. At one point I heard me say something, and went, it's all fucking kicked off. Nah, that made it into it. Aye, because I done an English accent, you fucking rats. And he says apparently Channel 4 kicked up fuck because I snuck my yes flag. It's a Scotland saltire with a big fuck off yes on it. I snuck that in and put it up in the wall. And apparently Channel 4 lost their shit about it. They said it was too political. Too political on a show with 2 Tory MPs. No bother, mate. So, they'd blurred that out, and I was like, right, fair enough. But in the show, I fucking just appeared, and as it went on, I'm like, right, surely I'll appear now, but it was like, everything they'd edited, they told me like there was going to be like an acting class. I went to an acting class, Sid Owen, Ricky Fee Stenders put on, and we done like 2 scenes. The first scene ended up a bit mental, where the boy ran out and all that shit, but it was like, funny. And the second one, obviously I got to kind of flex my acting muscles. And I loved it, everybody loved it, for praising it. But they edited it together, but I thought, right, maybe that'll get a wee bit of fucking limelight, know what I mean? Maybe somebody might see it. I got my hopes up. I made the mistake of getting my hopes up. I put expectations on it. And then, the way they edited it, it just looked fucking absolutely shite. And I just went, right, okay. And see, after the second episode, I just went, nah. See you later, mate. I was kind of like, that's a lot of shite, man. So eventually, I watched the 3rd episode when that came out, and then see by the time the 4th episode, I was like, fuck this pish. But I fucking barely popped up, so naturally, I felt affronted. Because in the last episode, right, so I plotted to do a shite protest, and this was a protest against the production team, right? No offence to any of the guys that were on the show with me, right? All great guys. The production team were going to the same people with storylines to do. And it was kind of annoying me. I'm like, we're all fucking here. You know what I mean? So it really fucking pissed me off. So I was like, right, what can I do? So I was sitting plotting one night, and I decided, I was like, I'm going to do a shite protest. And my plan was, right, to do like a Jimmy Boyle-esque shite protest. Like, cover myself in shit. And just start flinging shite at cunts, wrap my saltire around me, just cause a pure riot. So, what the production team said, listen, if you've got any ideas that you want to do, please come to us with them, so we just know to expect it, we can film it. So I let the production team know that this was my plot, and they went, right. And they sat on it, and then they kind of says, look, can you do it in the showers? Just so like do a shite in the showers just so we can contain it. And I was like, am I fuck? Like, not a chance. I was like, if you try and stop me for doing a shite protest, I'll do a shite protest in protest to this protest being stopped. So that day I was plotting and they kept saying, "Can you do it in the showers?" They were trying to talk me out of it and I was like, no. But then as the day was going on, I'm like, am I going to cover myself in shite? But I was like, it's happening. I'm doing it. So as the day went on, they came down, and so the servery was like a job that they would give to like different people on every day, right? So there wasn't one set or two set people on it. It would change. So that day I get told I was working on the servery, and whilst I was down there, one of the production team came down and went like, right, this is the chance to do it. Like, if you can do it in the showers, we can do it now. We can control it. And I was like, right. I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So like, right, do it when everybody's at dinner, do it then. So after that, like the server, the food been dished out, the radio down saying I'd been required up the stairs. So I went up the stairs and they'd planted toilet roll in the shower. I went in and everybody was eating their dinner. I was like, right, time is of the essence. Because the amount of times I've done shites, like I've shat in kettles, I've done other shites, I've done them in circumstances where I wasn't against the clock, where I could have been captured, where it was almost an element of criminality involved. So try to do a shite when you're like that without anybody seeing you, it's a bit of a task. And I had to squat down and all that, and because we had these fucking mics. The mics were like a necklace, it was like a rubber necklace. It would go round you, and then the mic was here, and it'd be a wire down your back, and it would clip onto your shorts or fucking whatever else. So, the fucking mic was falling off and all that, man, and fucking... So I went down, done the business, and then I was like, right, then I just tried to do it as quick as I could, then boost. So I done it, then boosted, got to fuck, and 5 minutes later, shit hit the fan. Cunts were freaking out because we'd no long came back for the gym, so everybody was needing a shiver, including me. Plus, including me, because I just fucking shat in the flare. So cunts were losing it, man, and like, they need to get somebody in with like a hazmat suit to fucking clean this, because no cunt was doing it. And the bold Neil, shout out Neil Parish, Tory MP, he volunteered to clean it up. Absolute legend. Put on a hazmat suit, got down on his hands and knees and cleaned it up. But the next day, I just thought, right, I didn't tell any cunt I'd done it. Tony Gooch, that was on the show, shout out Tony, people thought it was him. And that I thought it was quite funny. I was just kind of letting people think it was him. But the next day, I kind of remembered what I was doing. And one of the same production member, she came out and she kind of like got me to the side and she was like, right, we want you to announce to the hall that it was you done the shite, and the officers are going to cart you to the seg. I was like, it was like the next morning, I was like, what? Fuck. And so I was like, right, sorted. So I went in, grabbed my soul tire, tied it around my neck like a fucking cape, and I jumped up in a chair and see a toilet brush. I like snapped a toilet brush. So see, I get the long end, and then I get a dinner tray. I started banging the dinner tray and all that, and cunts and all sitting. I think it was just after lunch, and we're all just like that, as if, what the fuck's going on? And I done this big Braveheart speech, fucking where I announced to the hall it was me because I was getting discriminated against because I was Scottish, fucking all this shit. And I was like shouting freedom and all that, man. Cunts were all cheering and that. It was fucking brilliant. And then I offered myself to be carted to the seg. So the officers, I found out later that they didn't know that this was happening. So I had my arms tied up my back and everything, man. It was fucking sore as fuck. It's the first time I've been carted. Well, I get fucking carted in fucking Pullman, you know what I mean? But at that time, that was the first time in a long time it happened. So it was fucking painful. And fucking get carted to the seg, get put in the seg and that. And fucking... You actually see this, if you've not watched Banged Up, or if you have watched Banged Up, if you go back and see the intro, you see me getting carted with my Scotland flag behind me, and then you see them when they've got me in the ground, but you don't really see my face. Funny that, innit? My face must be too Scottish. So the carted is and that, and then when they put you in the seg, they only put you down there for like 20 minutes at a time and all that kind of shit. It was just for mere fucking aesthetic reasons. So they done that and then put us back up the stair and that. But that get cut for the show. So when I done the shite in the shower, if you watch the show, they don't show it was me that done it. Which is fucking annoying. Know what I'm talking about? But at the same time as well, see the way I look at it now, I'm just like, fuck it. I've benefited, I've been on the show. I've went up a few thousand followers. I've got a blue tick on Facebook. Got a couple of newspaper articles. Got a couple of podcasts. Met a lot of decent people. It was a good experience. It was challenging, but for what I was wanting to get out of it, I was wanting a bit more exposure. But I did get good exposure. Just I didn't get the exposure that I thought I'd get with the telly. But see the way I see it, right? And no offence to any of the boys in the show, but what they said to us beforehand, they wanted us to fucking pretty much bully the celebs, to give them a hard time and that. That's not in my nature to do that. I wouldn't do that in a jail environment or any environment. If somebody's fucking comes into the jail and they've got fuck all, I'll help them out. But they don't want to show that. They want to show them getting a hard time. So there was boys there that were like, aye, I'll do it. And they done a good job of doing it. But see, for me, and I thought this at the time, I'm like, right, people can't separate reality from reality TV. So see when they see somebody pressuring somebody or bullying somebody, they automatically assume that that's that person's real nature. And maybe there's an element of it that is, but on that show, people were just doing it. It was all an act. You know what I'm talking about? So I didn't want to put myself in a position where I had to explain that, or that get held against me like further down the line, because it's very possible it might. And plus as well, it's like a TV programme where you need to be an ex-convict to be on it. So with TV, you struggle to get on TV being an ex-con. Just people just don't want to fucking take the risk that they get you on, it ends up in controversy in the papers and all that. So for me, maybe it's a good thing that I didn't really get much of a feature on that, because I can deny that I was on it. No, deny I was on it, but I don't need to tell people I was on it because I'm not a standout star. So that's the way I see it. But it's plus as well, it's English media. What do you expect? See, English media, they don't give a fuck about Scottish people. Scottish people are a fucking novelty to them. It's a tick boxing exercise. It's fucking filling in a diversity quota. Look at that rap game UK. UK, there's fucking, it's all English cunts. See this UK rap shit, I know. It fucking does my nothing. Look, I don't want to be in the UK. I'd love for Scotland to be independent. Right now, we're in the UK. I accept that. It is what it is. But UK rap is English rap. Rap game UK or English country. It's like England isn't the UK. The UK is Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and England. But to some people, a lot of people, it's just England. And they say UK as if, is this fucking, and this isn't true of all English people, but there's a lot of attitudes. There's a school of thought out there that think it's just this English fucking England, Rule Britannia, the English Empire, British Empire, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So that's, England are the best in the world. Mate, he's been papped out at every fucking country he's colonised. You know what I mean? He's are dafties. What I'm talking about, he's can't win fuck all. But we'll let you believe, know what I'm talking about. But us Scots need to adopt that mantra. No in arrogance, but self-belief. We need to believe, man. Look what Scotland has given to the world in terms of invention, and look at the size of it. You know what I'm talking about? For such a small country, we've fucking put out a lot. And I'm looking at it right now. I include myself in this. Like, the music, the arts, it's like, fucking Scotland is fucking, it's throwing its weight about right now. And we're on the come up. But right now we need to believe in ourselves, man, that we're capable. See this old fucking attitude of Scotland's shite. It's shite being Scottish. I love Trainspotting. I hate that line. I understand he's trying to sum up an attitude, but that's an old attitude. That is like a fucking cancer, that thing. That needs to be cut off. That's prehistoric. That needs to go extinct and stay extinct. You know what I'm talking about? We need to adopt a new mantra that we're fucking great. Scotland the brave. We need to be brave. That's what we need to be. And we're a fucking great nation, a great people. People love coming to Scotland. Don't get me wrong, the weather's a bit fucking mental, but would you rather go to somewhere where there's fucking typhoons and monsoons and tsunamis and tornadoes? We get a lot more wet and cold days than we do get hot days, but when it's hot in Scotland, it's fucking booming. Exactly, mate. Scotland's a place to be, and I'm going to prove that. I'm going to put Scotland on the map. Trust me. Watch this fucking space. And the working class as well. See any of these snobby, toffee-nosed fucking wankers. Don't give a fuck about yous. You know what I mean? And no saying these are humans. Obviously, yous do matter. But yous give enough fucks about yourselves for us to be involved. You know what I mean? We need to focus on ourselves. The people that need it. The people need that voice. The voice for the voiceless. There's a reason why I've not released a podcast in the past few weeks and I've not had a guest on, because see, before, up until now, quite recently, I've realised I'm just trying to be consistent. And being consistent is great, but I was sacrificing the quality of my content for that. And I'm realising it's quality over quantity. It's like, that is such a fucking true phrase. When it comes to content as well, like, at one point I was trying to do like 3 videos a day on TikTok and that, but it's like 3 shite videos. It's like, and it dilutes your content, that kind of stuff. It dilutes your brand. It cheapens it. So I've realised that, and see, since I've just been focusing, like, right, in terms of if I talk about sketches or songs, like, I've realised just pulling myself back and just going, right, when an idea comes, let it come. Don't force it. And see that, I've enjoyed the process so much more. It's been more organic. It's felt natural. And it's done better. People have loved it. It's got a lot of views, and since doing that, it's just, I found my feet with the process, and that's what all this stuff is. It's a process, and that's any facet of life. Doing an apprenticeship, that's a process. It's means to an end, but you can't be focused on the destination. It's the process. The process is where you learn to develop patience. That is where you grow. The achievement isn't where you grow. It's the process of achieving the achievement. The process is where you grow, it's where you learn, it's where you develop your skills, develop your character, develop resilience, develop this knowledge that when you reach the destination is just a point, right? I'm done, on to the next one, and on to the next one you go. Don't relish in your achievement for too long. And these are things I'm learning by the day. I'm still learning. Always be a student. See, if you fucking, ego's a big massive thing, and I can see how it happens to people when you get people coming up to you in the street. I fucking love your stuff. You got all these views, you get people messaging you that. You can feel like you're the bollocks, and there's nothing wrong with that, but just be careful with ego, because ego is the enemy of success. It's a cancer to creativity. Ego is what makes Mike Tyson or Conor McGregor go out in 3-day benders in the run up to a fight, a championship fight, and then go in and get fucking leathered. That's what ego does to you. Ego destroy your success. But at the same time as well, it's having an awareness of ego where you can use it to your advantage. It can be a tool, but it's almost like it's like Pandora's box. And I'm talking about, you can open it a wee bit just to get a bit of the powers. But if you open it all the way, you're fucked. So it's just be awareness, be honest with yourself, and be real with yourself. Just be true to yourself. And that's all you really need to think about. You don't need to fucking think about all these things you want to achieve. Have goals in mind and then just focus on the grind. Fucking bars right there. We must interrupt this podcast for a breaking announcement. There has been numerous reports in the area of a beauty bomb ready to glow up. And it's going to blow away you beauty therapists one appointment at a time. Why? Do you conduct business correspondence with clients via DMs? Are you sick of late cancellations costing you money? Do you just wish you could provide your service without worrying if the client has the cash at hand?
Oh, I need to go to the bank.
Well, I have a solution to your confusion. Glow Out is a service that aims to alleviate the stress involved between a client and the technician booking their appointments. Glow Out makes it easy for clients to see appointments, to book them, and to pay. It takes deposits and it gets late cancellation fees, which means you won't lose out on any money. Clients can pay by card or using Apple Pay. GlowOut is also partnered with payment processor Stripe. GlowOut also helps you manage your bookings easily by using your calendar. The busier you get, the more stressful it is to keep track of who you've actually got coming in and when. GlowOut will help you do that. On GlowOut, you'll also be able to show off your portfolio, showing off your previous work so clients can check out what you've done in the past. It will also be implementing a feature in the very, very near to be future which will connect to your Instagram profile page. You will also be featured on the GlowOut website. You'll be visible to potential clients in the local area. You'll also have access to your own admin panel where you can see your account balance, generate reports, and turn your hobby into a business. GlowOut is basically a Just Eat for beauty appointments. Can't beat the convenience, can you? The mobile app for iOS and Android is coming soon. But in the meantime, for $5.99 a month, you will have access to all these features. But if you sign up using Fivo promo code, you will get the first 3 months free. You can't whack that for a bargain, can you? Give your business the glow up it needs to blow up. And glow up before you glow out. So for me with the podcast, I had a serious thing. I sat back and I'm like, right, I've built this up to 7,500 subscribers. That's a fucking good number for a guy that fucking does it all himself. At the start, there was a wee bit of help there, but it was a fraction of the start. I fucking carried this thing through a fucking lot. Through drug addiction, through jail sentences, through fucking all sorts. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of myself for doing that. So there's no way I'm just going to chuck this. That'd be fucking mental. There's a reason why people are tuning in to listen. Whether it's listening to me or listening to the guests. People are listening. You're listening. There's a fucking reason for that. It's not by accident. I've realised as well, I'm 6'3" and I'm louder than a fucking gangbang. I was designed to be seen and heard. So I'm going to relish in that. I'm talking about, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use these skills. That is a gift given to me by God. I don't know what your understanding is of God. I believe in God. I always have believed in God. I use the word God. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Catholic. I'm no fucking nothing. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. If I touch on religion, I believe there's not one true religion. There's truth to be found in all religions. The way the world is, right now there's about 8 billion people in the world. That's not always been the case. There's been a lot of people in the world at any given time. I believe religion is such a diverse thing is because if there was one religion for the full world to believe in, the full world doesn't believe in the one thing. You know what I mean? Even life and death, people think when you die, that's it. You're gone. People think you get reincarnated. People think you go to heaven. There's many different beliefs for the same thing. And that's what I think religion is. Many different beliefs and understandings of the same thing. So when I peel back to that, when I say God, I just mean like the universe, collective consciousness. I feel like people, like if you use like Jesus or the Prophet Muhammad, I'm not too familiar with the rest of them, but that's two for examples. These could have been people that did exist, were they fucking planted here by fucking some higher power? Or were they operating at a higher level of consciousness? Very possible. And I believe a higher level of consciousness is attainable. So I'm in the process of that. And I say process of that, I'm not looking for it. I'm just doing everything as I should do it. Following the spirit, your gut, your intellect, whatever the fuck you want to call it. See that thing in here that knows on some level. There's a school of thought out there. I think there's might be an Indian belief or somewhere out that kind of neck of the woods where they believe your body's got 3 brains. I believe the first brain is in your stomach, in your gut. The second one's in your heart. And the last one's in your head. And I say the last one because that should only be used for problem solving, according to this belief. And it makes sense because listen to your gut. Follow your heart. These aren't just fucking mad romantic fucking throwaways. There's something real attached to that. So, with that, listen to your gut and see if you're taking drugs, see if you're drinking. That shit disconnects you for your spirit. See, I've been abstinent. I'll be on the 28th of November this year. I'll be a year clean off all substances, apart from coffee. Coffee's no a substance in that that chain. But seeing that year, I've achieved more than I've ever achieved in my life. I've had the blinkers on, and it's been one of the greatest years of my life. So much that I've done. I can drive, learn to drive. I got a motor. I got a decent job. I released my first documentary. I started up a production company. I acted. I appeared in the telly briefly. Got newspaper articles. Fucking done all sorts. And I feel as if I've barely even started that way. Right now I'm actually working on an EP. I've started producing my own music. So right now I'm working on an EP. It's probably be an LP. So an EP is an extended playlist. That's like, I think it's a maximum of 6 tunes. I think I'm bordering on 7. So I think it's an LP. I can't remember. I think it might be a long playlist. Fuck knows. But I am working on that, and I'm just, see that way, I just want to create all my own stuff. I like to be the master of my own destiny. See, if there's somebody that can do something that you can't do, I outsource. But I believe I can do all this stuff. I can make music, I can produce podcasts, I can edit. So I don't really need any cunt to do it. Don't get me wrong, it can be quite top heavy at times. But I've realised that. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, just strip it back. Focus on one thing at a time. Don't try to fucking spread yourself too thin. So that's why I've not really released a podcast, because I'm kind of just want to speak to people that I want to speak to. And there was a point I was like, right, I need to get a podcast out every week. I was just sitting down and rambling a lot of shit. It was just, I felt I was sitting down, I didn't have much to say. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just oversaturating it. So, going forward, I don't know if I'll be a podcast every week. And I know that's how it should be, but at the same time as well, I'll just do it when it feels natural. Then when a podcast does come out, you'll be like, fuck, there's a podcast out, good. And it'll be a quality podcast, because I've not forced it. And with all the stuff, I've got my production company, Some Boy Productions, I've started up. I'm trying to turn into a business. I will turn it into a business, and I'll eventually go to work for myself. That's my next plan, to become independent and work for myself. I'm not a guy who was designed to have a boss either. And my boss is lovely, very nice woman, but she'll not be my boss forever. And I just don't like that living from wage to wage. See, if you're working for somebody, there's a ceiling in how much money you can make. And I'm worth so much more. My time is more valuable than what I get paid, and I get paid decently. So that's my next plan. But with the podcast, and I've got some podcasts lined up. I have actually got them lined up, but as I say, it's going to be more organic, more natural. And then that will actually look forward to it. See, sometimes when I've got a podcast, I'm fucking hoping some people pull out sometimes. Just as I'm like, just getting through the motions now. I've got a podcast, well, not got a date scheduled in, but the next podcast, I'm hoping it'll be maybe the next one. I've spoke to the guy and I'm really interested. I really want to speak to the guy. So, finger crossed that'll go through. I'm positive it will. But that's my plan going ahead. I'm just no forcing anything. Just letting it be organic. Just no trying to rush nothing. You rush it, you get a rush product. You just need to learn to be patient. Learn to live with the boredom. And that's why they say that an overnight success came after 10 years of hard work. I'm still in the process of it. And I'm comfortable with that. It's not saying that I'm comfortable, but I'm comfortable with the knowledge like that, right? Just let it be, let it breathe. That's why this expectation thing, and I think that comes a lot for recovery. Just be patient with the process, one day at a time, no expectations, all that kind of stuff, man. It's like, all ties in and works. It only works if you work it. That's it. So, right now, you're in the middle of writing a book. Am I, and you are. Depending where you're at in life, it's either going to be the last chapter of your memoirs or the first chapter of your success story. So it's up to you what you want to write. You're the author of your own fate. You're the designer of your destiny. You're the architect of your success. You're the creator of your own future. So get out there, manifest, meditate on it. If you're wanting some clarity, stick on a guided meditation. Ask. Will you receive? Don't know. Depends what you're asking for. Careful what you wish for, but also be careful what you pray for. If you ask God for patience, you'll not wake up the next day filled with patience. You'll wake up the next day and at one point your patience will get tested and you'll learn to develop patience. Same goes for anything. So beware, whatever you ask for, you're going to need to work to get it. But see, if it was handed to you on a plate, you wouldn't sustain it. You wouldn't appreciate it. You wouldn't have gratitude for it. See, when you work for it, and you fucking earn it, and it's yours, and you fight for it, it's a fucking beautiful thing. Take it for somebody that only started realising that the past couple of years. I'm 31. It's a fucking long time without it. Let's see, even I've got it. There's some people in this world that never experienced that. You don't need to be one of them. So, I hope this wee chat has inspired you. Maybe gave you some food for thought. Fuck's sake! But, I need to get some patience, But, aye, take it with you, man. Hopefully it works for you. Maybe I might just be confirming something you already believe. That's the thing as well. I spoke about it before. The word inspiration comes from the Latin inspiratus. It means in spirit. That's why when you listen to certain songs or somebody says a certain phrase in a certain way and it hits you, you go, fuck. Something clicks in your head. There's a reason for that. Because you notice I might say some phrases that you might get or somebody else might get that you don't get. Some people get it, some people don't. There's a reason for that. Nothing's by accident. I know I've been talking about God a lot in this, but I remember hearing a phrase saying, a coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And I like that. Nothing's by accident. Everything's by design. So, live out your design and become your own dream. So, with that, people, that's enough from me on Self-Belief Sundays. But I hope you've wide catchies.
Premeditated patter.